mortgaged up to the hilt, in debt up to our eyeballs, credit cards maxed out on Grace's expensive decor choices. But now wasn't the time for that. She hadn't known. We hadn't known. "It'll be all right," I hiss-whispered, despising how gruff my voice sounded in the quiet. "We'll offer a discount on rooms, spring break with breakfast included. Take some more pictures of the front when the sea's up high. The bookings will come with the weather." She was shaking her head before I was even finished, fingers to her temples as if my words were too much to bear. "It opens in March, Brett. March." She gestured to the emptiness behind her, the cleared tables so neat and orderly. Vacant. "We're fucked now. We'll be well and truly screwed when 50 budget rooms open a mile down the fucking road, and you know it. You know it just as well as I do." Her eyes spat fear and fury, but were only ignited for a heartbeat before she slumped back down on her stool. "What then?" I asked her. "We sell up and head back to Bristol with our tails between our legs, like anyone's going to buy this fucking place. Want to skulk back on the event hosting circuit, do you? I sure as hell don't want to go back to fucking recruitment. I'd rather stay down here and take a fucking bar job at the poxy new piece of shit hotel down the road." I toweled down the side to illustrate, well aware that she was staring at my pitted brow as I scrubbed at an imaginary stain. "We won't get through the month," she whispered. "Not even if we lose Elaine and do the laundry ourselves. I called the bank myself earlier when you were doing the barrels and they said—" Her voice trailed off and she took a breath, shunting her glass over for a refill. I grabbed a fresh bottle of the cheap stuff from the rack. Like one paltry bottle was going to make a difference to our finances. "The bank said what?" "They said we're fucked," she told me in a sing-song voice that grated down my spine. My fingers looked so big against hers as I handed her glass over. Hers was shaking as she took it, gripping tight to raise it to her lips and swig back a decent mouthful. It was one of the things I always loved about Grace, her being so slender and delicate, fragile and feminine and gorgeous enough to hitch my breath even after all these years. She'd always made me feel so big, so strong, such a protector, such a man. But not anymore. Not for a while now. I watched her swallow her drink down through the eyes of a man looking at a woman afresh. Grace still looked like the girl I married in every way that meant something, even though she'd turned 30 a few months previous. Even through her misery, her lips beckoned mine and promised to fit just fine for kisses. Her cheekbones were high and pixie-like, her brows shaped with the same high arches and downward flicks. Her cleavage was pinched tight in the swathes of pretty fabric, hinting deliciously at the perky pear underneath. I tried to recall when I'd last fucked her like I meant it. 1 month, 2, 3, 5 at least. It had been 5 whole months since I'd fucked my wife like I really meant it. I wasn't thinking lights out missionary after a few drinks when the bar had done for the night, or the cheeky number we'd done before breakfast in the shower when we were cutting it fine to get the tables downstairs laid out a few weeks back. I was thinking nights like we'd had in the city, nights where there was only her body and mine, insatiable and needy, craving skin on skin and sweat and whimpers, seeking out heat and depth and the slam of flesh against flesh. And now nothing, just tiredness, aches and grueling days begging the bookings to chime through from the online booking system. A simmering of nerves below the surface every time we totaled up the profit and loss for the months just gone. "What?" she asked me, her eyes narrow on mine. "What are you thinking?" I couldn't tell her. There's no way I could switch up the desolate mood by explaining my search for happier times, hornier times. I couldn't share my last memory of fucking her the way she deserved it. Right there on that spot, her back arching against the beer pumps as I slammed her in our brand new venue last spring. She'd laughed and screamed and begged for more. Told me this was ours, all fucking ours, forever. Forever. So many promises of forever seemed to fall flat on their faces. Ours was one I couldn't face, not just the hotel, but us. We were bleeding down the drain with the capital investment, years of love and life dripping away with our failing dreams. "We'll make it," I said out loud, not completely sure it was for her benefit more than mine. "We'll get through this month and we'll pick it up. We'll fucking pick it up, Grace, even if I have to grab the assholes from the beach and drag them in here myself." I felt the tick behind my eyes, full of desperation to relieve hers. "I'll borrow the money from that seedy lender in Tembe, the one who charges gross high interest, and if not him, I'll find someone."